The Capita Spring Break Slush Lasher absolutely dominates powder or slush. Honestly, this board can ride anything, and we're going to talk about it, the pros and the cons of the Capita Slush Lasher. Now for transparency, I got an older version of the Slush Slasher. There are new versions out that are a little thinner, and we'll talk about that. But overall, I have so many days on the Slush Lasher that I know what this board is meant for, and if you should get it, or if you have it, maybe you should stop riding it, and I'll tell you why in a second. So for specs, the Slush Lasher is camber underfoot and rocker on the nose and rocker on the tail. The rocker and the very large directional nose obviously helps you float in powder. Also helps you just run over anything that's coming into your way. The big nose is just meant to just charge through stuff. The camber under the foot is going to give you a nice pop, a nice snap. That's why a lot of people will actually ride this board in the park, and you totally can. I have done a ton of park days on the Slush Lasher. That being said, the pop is a little weird because you got this little short fishtail tail. Like, you're not loading the tail and getting a crazy snap. You're really loading like right underfoot, almost like a skateboard ollie. So it does have snap, it is gonna pop, but it's a weird pop. Now, like I said, the newer version, the 2023 and 2024, is more narrow, and that's because they wanted more torsional twist in the board. The older version, it carves okay. Some people love carving on this, but what I've noticed with the Slush Lasher and doing deep carves, the back of the snowboard tends to wash out at the apex of the turn, so it can carve, you can get some cool lay down turns and stuff like that, but really this thing's kind of meant for super playful, like jumping around, spraying slush, like sloppy, skatey, just fun snowboarding, not like this technical, precise, like I want to rip lay down card. Like, it's just like, yo, I'm gonna take this board out and I'm gonna just kick snow here, I'm gonna press here, I'm gonna do all this wild stuff. Now when you have a board with a nose this large, this thing is gonna flap. When you're ripping fast, especially on groomers, the nose is literally just like, and you feel that through your feet, you feel through the whole board. It's just kind of what happens when you have a nose this big. Once again, this is designed so if you are riding deep powder, like, it's gonna help you just coast through it like no issue. But if you take it into the park, two things will happen. One, every time you land something, whoop-ah! And then if there's snow on the top, you will pop, and then that snow like comes up and hits you in the face. Now the reason why I mentioned if you have the Spring Break and you've been ripping it for everything, you might want to stop, is because I do think this board can create some bad habits or have some limitations. Like, it's a fun board, take it out occasionally, absolutely rip it. I just know a lot of people that take it to the park every single day. This is like their daily driver board, and I don't really think this is meant to be a daily driver board, because once again, your carving is going to take a hit due to the shorter tail. Your ollies, your pops are going to take a hit due to the shorter tail. Riding in the park, you're going to be limited because you have this super big, large nose, so not always being on the Slush Lasher, I think, is a good thing. Having it in your arsenal, in your quiver, as a fun board, your powder board, it can do all of that. I will say this is not the greatest powder board, especially if you're going to be doing big, gnarly shoots. You're going to want to have a board that's going to be a little stiffer, a little longer, something that's going to help you fight back the mountain. This one, like I said, you just wash out in the tail really easy, which is totally fine on a fun, slushy day where you want to be slipping out. But if you're riding big mountain and you want to feel like safe, so like you're in a no-fall zone, you don't want this board, I can tell you that. The other thing that sucks about not having the huge tail is it's hard to land stuff. You're going to wash out a ton of your landings because you don't have the tail to help you land it. So if you are using this as your main park board, you're not going to have any tail to help you land your tricks. You want a tail. But those are just my thoughts on the Slush Lasher. If you have one or you know more information that I left out, obviously comment those down below. Help people out if they want to know if they want to get this board. If you do want to get it, I have it linked in the description. You can snag it for yourself. Don't forget, we have Evolution stickers and merch as well, all linked in the description. As always, Tim Elkhouse, thank you so much for shredding with me today. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep evolving. We'll see you guys tomorrow in that video. It's daily on the channel. We do stuff like this daily.